we are also have another resource person, Engineer Ashok Seduraman, who is going to handle the next session. Let us enlighten us with a rich source of knowledge from them. Now I request my co-coordinator, Lakshmibai ma'am, to introduce our chief guest.
Thank you, Anisha ma'am. Good evening to everyone present here. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce our distinguished speaker for this session. Badran sir, shall I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
It gives me immense pleasure to introduce our distinguished speaker for this session, Dr. G. Swaminathan, Professor in the Department of Environmental Engineering, National Institute of Technology, NIT Trichy. Dr. Swaminathan is a renowned academician and researcher with vast expertise in the fields of environmental engineering, sustainable energy systems, and urban planning. His work has significantly contributed to addressing some of the most pressing challenges for our time, including environmental sustainability, urban energy management, and smart city development. With decades of teaching, research, and consultancy experience, Dr. Swaminathan has guided numerous research scholars, published widely in reputed journals, and contributed to projects that bridge the gap between science, technology, and sustainable development practices. His insights into sustainable urban energy planning and smart cities are especially relevant today as we strive towards climate resilience and sustainable growth. We are truly honored to have with us this evening to share his knowledge and perspectives on the topic sustainable urban energy planning and smart cities. On behalf of Sri Chandrasekharendra Saraswati Vishwamahavidyalaya, the organizing team, and all participants, I extend a warm welcome to you, sir. We eagerly look forward to your enlightening session. The session is yours, sir. Please. Sir, can you share the screen, sir? Swaminathan, sir? Whether sir is in the connection? Shall I share the screen? Sir, Kara?
Am I audible now?
Now only you are audible, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, on behalf of you, shall I share the screen or you are able to share, sir?
I'm ready with that. Anyway, I'll just make it 1 point. 1 minute.
Okay, no problem, sir.
Is that my screen is being shared? No.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Now it is visible.
Okay, fine. Wonderful. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to interact with the academicians spread over um, India rather. So the wonderful topic is sustainable urban energy planning and smart cities. Okay. So I just to start at the definition of a smart city. So we have been to many of you would have traveled abroad and many of you would have seen it. and it's a mere comparison of the technology what is that being adopted in our country, and because our country is economically growing up, our economy is getting pick up, and um, how do we compare with the definition of a smart city like? So the definition goes this way, I just taken from the web only. It is the one which uses the technological tools, especially the digital technology, information and communication technology, to provide the most comfort level to the citizens residing in that city. That's good, right? So a smart city, wherever, when you are living in the smart city, you feel the comfort of living, the advanced technological tools, everything getting digitized, information is available in your pocket, in your hand, and it provides the up-to-date data, and then your level of living also is assured. So it is other way called leveraging the technology and provide more sustainable comfort. So what are the comfort what you feel in a smart city, in being a citizen of the smart city, or when you go as a traveler in a smart city, that sort of benefit or the comfort which maybe in the next level or a lower level than what is contemplated or what is available in the particular type of city. Most important is a clean environment, and also it should give a economic opportunity for present and future generation. So city where people live very comfortably, and technological comfort is because of the advent of the technology and the usage of latest technology, which ensures more comfort in the living. Like, so, this is a definition or what we understand as a smart city. So key components of smart cities: reliable water supply. Water supply should be assured. Reliable power. Power is always available. No power cut. Advanced communication with the high-speed internet connectivity. And whatever is the problem, they anticipate the problem and manage the problem in a very better level, and improved urban mobility, better urban transport connectivity, information about traffic conditions to the stakeholders. Of course, we do have something like our Google Map, and sometimes the Google Map take you to the proper place without any, it's a hassle free. Sometimes it misguide you, or sometimes we don't understand properly. But this sort of a communication gap should not be there for a commuter in the smart city. So improve comfort level in commuting. These are all some of the key components of smart cities. Sustainable environment, and mostly my interaction or my lecture will be focusing on what is called as a sustainable environment, how that we sustain, and some of the uh, field experience which I derived by traveling: solid waste management, wastewater treatment, energy efficient system, use of renewable sources of energy, enhanced quality of life and healthcare, economic growth and competitiveness. So these are some of the key components of a smart city. Like economic growth, that city should provide ample opportunity for job, and somebody wanted to be an entrepreneur, he should support the business opportunities also. Suppose you start a business, it just grows. Not that other cities which are not classified under what is called the smart cities doesn't support, but no, nevertheless they also do it. But this is also one of the component which so people find it very easy to get on and sustain their life, and the life become more comfortable in case of the smart city. So this is one of the criteria which smart cities have been classified. So database collection, data management, data help in decision making. So this is forms the crux of what you call the smart city management. The improvement in operational efficiencies of services like water supply, wastewater collection, solid waste collection, improvement in urban planning, citizen platform engaging the stakeholders in improvement through the digital platform. So these are the jargons which are available to us. So now people are talking about data management. So it is a question of people living in and they have problem what sort of supply, what is being maintained, supply chain management, and how the transport sector work, how the security of the people has been taken care. All these things, the data is being collected, and nowadays we have what is called the AI tool also. So the technology combining the data, what is being done and what's the lacuna in that, how that it can be in a better way it can be improved upon to provide more comfort to the stakeholder. So these are some of the governance and efficiency. We'll see some of the case studies like actually. So what are the 15 smart cities in there's been Singapore Institute of Technology and Institute for Management Development. They have put it in 2023. These are the following smart cities: Zurich, Oslo, Canberra, Copenhagen, London, Singapore, Geneva, Stockholm, Hamburg, Beijing, Abu Dhabi, Prague, and Amsterdam. So these are the first, the ranking is being done. The government of India also taken initiative. Many of the cities uh, they wanted to classify and bring it down to order of what you call the smart cities. So this mission of smart city mission 2015, they started 10 year back, and officially it got closed on March 20. So this is so some of the cities they have ranked it also. Sometimes with Tamil Nadu we get some of the cities also ranked cleanest city, smart city, and all. How do we compare these? What are the cities what have been listed over here, and how do we compare them? One part, what is that the implement for the smart cities is more of the population rather. India population, we are number one. We have got 140 crores of people over there. And second point is land area. The resources are there. And how do we plan our resources? For example, the water that is being supplied to a community. And our standard says that 135 liters per capita per day is the water requirement as per the podal provision for supply. But many of the things, but you see that even the Tamil Nadu Water and Supply and Drainage Board, when they design their water supply, they design it for 90 liters per capita per day is for the urban, and if it is a rural area, it is only 45 liters per capita per day. So these are some of the data what is available to you. Because water, water is the elixir of life rather. So how the smart cities manage this? Whether they have the resources. For example, if we take a city like Singapore, because I'm going to give example only from Singapore, because why that the small city, the city itself, the town and the country itself called Singapore, and the city is also called Singapore. They have got a world best airport. They are come under the smart city. If you take a case of Singapore, they don't have water resources like us. For example, we have got perennial rivers. Ganga is flowing, Kaveri is flowing. All these rivers are flowing. right? But Singapore, they have got only one Singapore river that is completely saline. They are buying water from what you call Malaysia. So Malaysia, they have got an agreement with the neighboring country. Water they are purchasing from Malaysia. But how do they manage? Wherever you go in Singapore, they have made a point that where you drink water in Singapore, it is 100% safe and pure. Such a statement we are lacking to make it out in any part of our country. For example, even if we say that a small university, we are not in a position to make out, and it is a starry state of affair. The technology is being completely put into use. How do they manage water resources in Singapore? I just show some slides. Okay. So this is the slide which I have taken some, it was somewhere around 2008 rather. And this slide is 17 years old. And you can see that the road, what is that, the road and the cars are trekking in the road. See, Singapore is a city where it is very close to the equator, and every day it rains. The morning will be a sunshine. Afternoon you will have a great thunderstorm. But what I see, unfortunately, there is a video file which I couldn't open it now. You can see that the photographs have been taken. The water, the white one, what is flowing here is the water that is collected on the road and is getting into the drain. Now, when the rain stops, not even a single drop of water will be found in the road. So that is the way the city has been planned for the transportation network. One. Second one is this water has been collected and has been taken to a treatment plant and they treat the water. Not only this, the water, what is the wastewater that is getting collected, that also is getting treated to the extent of a drinking water standards. And 2% of the sewage water, it may look very odd, but that is the truth. 2.5% of sewage water is being added with the drinking water and they supply it as a new water, NEWATER, new water. Like, but to exhibit that this water is safe and pure, what they done, they called all the school children. They with a different flavor. They asked the school children to consume this water. The school children expressed their satisfaction that this water has quenched the thirst, and and they have been put in observation for some n number of days, and they proved that the water what they have consumed is 100% safe and pure. So like this, what they do is the water in the drains have been collected. They are treating the water because I said that clean environment. One thing, water, wastewater treatment, right? And then it supplies a pure water. Singapore has been classified under a smart city, under transportation network. And one more thing is that the entire country is been under the surveillance rather. Every square centimeter of the country is covered with the advanced level camera rather. So every part is being covered with so no uh, untowardness, no snatching of the chain by somebody else, and any crime happen, it has been recorded in the camera and all countries. So other way, but the freedom may not be there, but you know that country is being managed very well rather. So even that the transportation network, no traffic violation, everybody follow under the network of transport and the living condition is made good by the enforcement of law. So too much of law enforcement is one impediment, but the resources have been managed rather, especially the water supply. And the wastewater treatment, if it comes, industrial waste discharge cannot be just like that let into it, because they have got sensors and a gate rather. So all the wastewater parameters are being monitored by online sensors, and if the level of discharge exceeds the particular limit, the gate will come and close. The factory cannot discharge anything onto the either onto the land or onto the water body. As a result, what happened? There'd be a hefty fine. So enforcement is by more of the strict enactment of a law, and every part of it under surveillance they are able to do. But it's so water problem is solved, and the transportation network also they have got a very good. See, you can see that when this is the place where the car stops for signal, there is a gap between one car and the other car. They maintain the a gap and the lane discipline. Suppose you want to take a left turn, only one car will be on the extreme left. Others they want to take a right turn. It is very close to the National University of Singapore. So this is one aspect of it. Water they are able to solve the problem. Now, this is what is called urban planning. They have got what is called a urban redevelopment agency. What is that? You see that is a miniature model of many of the tall rise structure, and if you want to add anything, they make a miniature model, and then they study that details. How is that this is going to affect the neighborhood? So the micro level planning is being done by the Urban Redevelopment Authority of Singapore. So this is how the planning part of it is being done. This is a photo which has been taken in 2008. Now 17 years have passed by. Right, they have got a wonderful rail network. Now they have got a wonderful road network. They have got a expressway. The speed at which the vehicles fly on the road is somewhere around 100 kph to 120 kph, and the time also is being specified. Everything getting displayed, and you should see that there was one particular card with which we can try in a different mode of transportation. For example, if you travel by the one card, there will be a card reader in the front desk of the automobile, no conductor. You get in there, you drop it out, and then when wherever you want to get out, you can tap it out and get out of that. The funniest part of it is, suppose you are using two different mode of public transport. What is that they do is, suppose I take a automobile, that is a bus, and get down at a place and then take a train. So combined for some 70% of the amount it will deduct. So depending upon this intelligent transport system was implemented way back some 20 years back. And one more thing, nobody is allowed to own a building in own a flat in Singapore is easy, but owning a car, because the private cars are allowed only on Saturday and Sunday. Even if you are a owner of it, and most of them are using only public transport system. So these are some of the urban planning. Every square inch of the city is being planned. They do management of water. They do management of sewer, because the two rider is very important. Water always flow from a tap, and sewer never overflow. But many part of ours, what we see is sewer overflow, water never flow. That should be so. Smart city, the main part of it, the supply chain management with regard to what is called the your water, food, that is to be maintained properly, and proper distribution of the supply chain is very essential in what is called urban planning. So this is what is called the Urban Redevelopment Authority of Singapore, how they plan it rather. See, there's another view of it. So I'll show the real figure, how this is the miniature model, and then when it comes to reality, it is something like this. So you can see that the road network and then the tall buildings, and most of the smart city, one another problem is the parking problem. But that also be to be taken care, and the road network and the public transport system, supply of water, and environmental neatness. The roads, you can see that no littering. If you litter it, it has been monitored in a online camera, and will be very hefty fine will be there actually. So this is, you can see that the cars are parked in the top, and one of the building I've seen that the third floor or fourth floor they have a swimming pool actually. This is the place where I stayed actually. So look at the way arrangement of the tall rise building and how that, and that this is a public urban transportation system. Way back, they run northeast line without a driver. I can see that. I stand in that and see the tunnel where front part of it from a driver seat where some photographs have been taken rather. So this is, see the how that solid waste is being managed rather. Smart cities, of course, date back to olden time in India. Kanchipuram 300 BC is said to, there is no historic evidence, but Adi Shankaracharya is the one who have designed the city such a way that it is more like a Sri Chakra. The center of it is Kamakshyaman Koil, and then the other streets have been planned that way. Now, what is the status of as is various condition of Kanjipuram and the development? We don't have it, but there is no historical proof that he has designed it. But this is a mythological belief. Similarly, Madurai, rather. There is all people say that when people wanted to go or to when Kamraj was the Honorable Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, and people they wanted to visit some of the foreign country, and then they say that how that city has been planned. Uh, by hearsay, I heard that uh, the Kamaraj, Honorable Chief Minister, asked those officials to visit Madurai, and because the center of Madurai, old Madurai, not new Madurai, Madurai, to make a visit and then find out how the city has been planned that way. So these are some of the smart cities. Even sometime back, there was a flood in and around Chidambaram, Nataraja temple, but later on they found that there was one underground channel through which the flood water has to recede. Somehow they rectified it, and the flood water finds a way through the channel into a river. So the unfortunate part of our city planning was we have planned the olden cities rather, but nothing has been documented, or nobody is willing to spare the document. So engineering was there actually, but how things have been done, we are not at a position to uh, get those data. So this is the solid waste dump site actually. So when you travel from Chandigarh to Delhi, you can see that a heap and heap of solid waste is getting generated and is being dumped into the site. You can see artificial mountains have come up, and the lorries go and the tipper lorry go and just dump it. So what is the problem is that when it is getting dumped, whatever we don't want, they dump it out, and then what will happen is this: when rainwater pours over it, when there is a precipitation, especially water is got a peculiar property of is a universal solvent. It dissolves everything on its way. So it picks up what is called uh, the essence of the solid waste, unwanted particle, because the salt gets dissolved, inorganic salt getting dissolved, and organic fraction also go into it. And we call it as these penetrate into this and finally reach the ground, and part we go into the ground, and what it makes what is called a leachate. So leachate is getting generated. So nowadays we are finding out, if at all somebody wanted to work on solid waste management, there's wonderful opportunities are there, because unwanted things are being thrown onto. Again, organic waste, kitchen waste, vegetable flour, because it's something connected with the energy. Suppose if we assume that the whole thing is a golden dust, will any one of us will keep quiet? Will try to recover this. But the unwanted things have been just been dumped. And many cities, what happen is this solid waste dump has become a big menace. They are the breeding grounds for vectors. The mosquitoes sometimes, that flies, especially, they breed on that. Mosquito breed on water, but if any water stagnates and it forms what is called a mat, on the mat, because wastewater is not a breeding ground for mosquito, but on the mat formation is there on the leached part, then on that mosquitoes will breed, and then vector menace will be there, rodent menace is there. Most of the cities, they find it difficult to manage it. So what is that? The training of a mind is more important. Of all the pollution, is the water pollution or air pollution, mind pollution is the one which is to be controlled to a large extent. So we should have a mind to follow what is called as the 3R principle: reduce, reuse, okay, and recycle. So so these are reduce the waste. If we compare some of the well-developed cities and our Indian condition, I can still say that well-developed cities are most developed countries. The generation of the solid waste is more than what we generate, because we have got what you call, we are in the habit of uh, reading newspaper. There are rack pickers who come, something we should sell it out. But even then, some of the solid waste, for example, in our Tiruchirappalli, we have got what is called Ariyamangalam dump site. It's more than about 75 years old. Sometimes what happens, these some of the things which are very down below, they undergo anaerobic reaction, and production of methane will be there. Somebody, the light cigarette or some the lighting part, some matchsticks is being thrown, it triggers off the fire, and 4 to 5 days or 7 days, the solid waste dump also get into fire, and then especially it happen during the summer months rather. So other, what is the option for it? Whether we can go for what we call a sanitary landfill. There's an improvised way of dumping where you can line your ground and then dump it. Because there is a popular belief in civil engineering that the Mother Earth has got a utmost tolerance. The soil is inert. Those are the presumption under which we are working, but those days are gone. What happens is now that there are soil which have got a reactive component in the soil, and some of the waste, the material which have got a cation and anion, they get exchanged. As a result, the soil property altogether modify, because we measure the soil property in terms of what we call the plasticity and the elasticity of the soil. profile. For example, there are two types of clay. One is called monomarlinate and the other one is called kyalinate. Kyalinate is a calcium clay and monomarlinate is a sodium clay which has got affinity for water. So when you got a kyalinate at the bottom, because of ion exchange, this altogether the soil property also change because of the leachate, which lead to the property changes in the soil. So solid waste, water, these are the major problem in planning of a urban city. So we have got four different categories: organic waste, what is getting generated in the kitchen, vegetables, flowers, leaves, fruits; toxic waste, old medicine, paints, chemical, bulbs, spray cans, fertilizer and pesticide container, batteries, shoe polish; recyclable, of course, we recycle paper, glass, metal, plastic. Then we have got what is called a hospital waste, which has been classified under biomedical waste rather. So this has got what is called the uh, more, it has got an environmental impact and it has got a energy savings also, because when you say that when how to dispose of the solid waste, one is by what you call the sanitary landfill, second is by composting or pyrolysis, some recovery of valuable product in your solid waste dump. Fourth is incineration, burn it rather. If you ask me personally, I will say that burning is the last option, but sometimes situation says that you have to go for. So, what are the environmental effect? One is it is not looking, when you say that a smart city, aesthetically pleasing rather, because you see that most of the roads with the lawns on the side, when you make your eyes also is not getting stored up rather. Pollution of groundwater, clogging of drains, open decomposition that can lead to development of unpleasant odor rather. Breeding of vectors, flies and rats, increase and risk of diseases like because the healthcare also is getting affected. Right. So treatment and disposal, open dump, landfill, incineration, composting or pyrolysis. So what we can do, continue the same old habit of disposal in new places? Certainly not. We have to recognize the consequence of improper solid waste disposal on the environment and our health and change our attitude. So attitude change is there. So people say that we segregate at the source, we segregate at the source. We keep three different bin and different color. One is a biodegradable, non-biodegradable, toxic waste. We collect it. Ultimately, what we do, that is the problem. Okay. So landfill, incinerator, bins addition, we can practice 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. Okay. Here, incineration is in one option. Normally, we don't. But here, we have been given a project. The project is about dispersal of a canister. Canister is a box which is being used to carry a missile, especially what is called the BrahMos missile. Box is made up of some composite which outside heat should not come in and inside heat should not go out. Especially the BrahMos missile, this is the brainchild of our great leader, the technological president, Dr. Abdul Kalam. It is a combination of two projects, Brahmaputra and Moscow River, that has been coined. It's a Russian composite that has been used. BrahMos is a very versatile missile because all the four components have been assembled and it has been taken. So the problem comes what is to dispose of what is called the missile canister. I'll just show you the photograph, but no, I'm not supposed to, but anyway, I'll show you. So this is what is called a missile canister, which is 1.5 meter in diameter, 6 meter in height. Top and bottom will have uh, a titanium cover, which when you remove it, and it can be fired from a submarine, can be fired from a ship, it can be fired anywhere. So this material is you can see that this is the thickness of the canister. The outside heat should not go in, otherwise the missile get fired, or when the missile is fired out, the inside heat should not come. So this is the composite, but nobody knows what is the composite. The job was to dispose of the canister. So we wanted to dispose of, we tried various alternatives. Finally, we end up with burning it, because when it burns, it gives out enormous amount of heat and the light, which will be used for the manufacturing process, energy saving, and it left out what is the ash part of it. This ash will go into what is called the product. So one, it gives you energy. Second is it gives you immense of raw material savings. So this is what is called a co-processing. So we have resorted to co-processing, and we are able to solve the problem of this. Now that whatever the recommendation what is being given by us is being practiced, and then they are doing it. Because I cannot say much of this for the sake of these are some of the things which some military secrets are involved. So another one is uh, we have seen a Singapore model. Why not Australian model rather? So I visited some part of Australia during 17th of May to 4th of July. So we just keep it. This is a landmark, what is called, have you heard of it? I think I'm talking whether people are hearing it. So these are salient information about Australia. This is animal found over there. So Australia is famous for mango. This is the first place where we see the kangaroo, the Australian currency. Look at the how neat, because everywhere you go, you can see more number of beaches in Australia, and the world top beach is what is called Early Beach. You can see that most of the animals also live very comfortably. Rather, they can. This is the fall, and look at the streets in Australia, how neat, tidy. One more thing I have to say, that the whole population of India is 140 crores, and the whole population of Australia is only 2 crore people. The number of kangaroos are more than the number of people, and area-wise, if you look at it, Australia is at least 3 times a larger area, plenty of resources rather. So only on the when you look at Australia, you can see that this part, you know, inhabitation is only on the shore. All the four cities where people go and play cricket, Perth, Melbourne, Sydney, all are on the seashore actually. Even the Canberra, like Canberra is the capital. All these things are people, but this part of it inhabited. This is more desert, full of resources. Mineral resources are available there. Uh, they mine it. So mining and infrastructure are wonderful rather. So this look at the way how the see this is the world topmost beach, but this part is not a smart city, but You see that littering is not there. I can see that Indian tricolor is been unfolded in this. So these are that's a tourist attraction. So to sustain the environment, they don't use some. This is a place called Hamilton Island where the tourist attraction is more. They practice only electrical vehicle. Buggy. How neat and clean is the environment, and how that solid waste. You see that this is the street actually, and that yeah, what is that? Can anyone guess and say what is actually this one? The the vehicle at the on the right hand side. This is nothing but a solid waste collection vehicle. We'll look at our solid waste collection vehicle, how it looks, and these are the solid waste bin. So we have to keep it. This vehicle has got a mechanical arm. Just come and engage this, take it out, and then just it rotate and then pour it down. Once in a week only they collect it, and there is no littering. And you see that the lawns are there. It is being maintained by the local government. These are some of the issues, and this is the agriculture farming which they promote. This is tomato farming at the market. People come and sell away their agriculture goods, and it provides sustainability for the business people. There they keep the scale and their agriculture product. One can many places one can go there, take a weigh, can weigh it, and then pay the price. Nobody will be there actually, right? So this is the look at the streets. This opera house, and we see that urban transportation they park it. They use only one card. They call it as a Opal card. We can use the transportation network. They can with the same card you can travel in a train. You can travel in a bus. You can travel in a tram. You can travel in the ferry also. So all the mode of transportation, it's a one card. Automatically it takes out. So these are some of the issues, and so solid waste management. So how we manage it, right? Okay. So 3R principle. So we have how much of waste is one more thing which we have to appreciate, that the Swachh Bharat mission, and nowadays we find our railway station, many of the cities are neat and clean for the initiative taken by our Honorable Prime Minister. So India produces approximately um, 0.025 million tons of plastic waste. How to, and there are cement factories which are taking the solid waste, they process it, and then they burn this something. It gives you energy. The waste product go into the cement plant. This is what is called a co-processing. So one of my students has done a PhD and completed his PhD in co-processing, and in fact we have found out energy savings in what we call the solid waste management. So solid waste management, it is not our civil engineering area alone. When you want to keep a city as a smart city, how do we manage these resources? Because we have got a solution for a domestic waste. To large extent, we have got a solution for what is called the industrial waste. So industrial waste has been addressed in terms of what is called the volume reduction and the strength reduction. And when you resort to anaerobic technology, when you are treating a wastewater, you are able to recover energy, especially when you have a distillery type of a waste, we are able to solve it. Some another big brother has come, what is called a toxic waste, that is posing a threat. So worldwide the threat is there actually. So how do we manage these resources and then bring out a pleasing environment and the larger level planning? This is energy efficiency also there actually. So this is some of the thing what I thought that we can share it with you. So United Nations report says that India is one of the biggest production of e-waste, because e-waste is getting generated, especially the cell phones what we use. We get a every now and then advanced features have been included in the cell phone. We would like to change our mobile, resulting in uh, life has become without a cell phone, you can't survive rather. So India e-waste is expected to grow 5.2 million metric ton by already it would have reached it. The PPT was prepared long time. So these are some of the statistics. I don't want to throw a statistic to you, right? The next one is urban planning, energy efficiency improvement, smart and sustainable energy, artificial intelligence. Right. Now that artificial intelligence has, we have to make use of the tool and how best we are doing it. And if you look at it, our energy, what is that? And many of the initiative by um, Ministry of Renewable Sources of Energy, when you are harnessing your solar energy, they are giving subsidy also rather. So our many of our university campuses, many universities, they have resorted to harnessing solar energy and reducing their electricity load on the uh, general distribution by the local electricity authority. So this is one part. But how do we manage the energy efficiency in the future course of it? So collection of data, of course, problem in current scenario, usage of energy from fossil fuel, deteriorating the environment, global warming. Every now and then, what is that we hear is global warming, temperature of earth is rising up, the carbon dioxide and then other gases, unwanted gases, including water vapor, they form a blanket. It is more like a glass house where the sun ray take about 8 minutes and 20 seconds to reach. There is no intervening medium. This is by what is called the uh, radiation transfer. It is possible only when the incoming wave is a short wave. So when a short wave comes, these gases act like a glass plate which allow the short wave radiation, and then it comes, these radiation strikes the ground, it becomes a long wave. This long wave is again reflected back. As a result of it, this global warming occurs. Because of global warming, what happened? Iceberg, they start melting. That's what they claim. And there was a postulation also in the past, by the year 2015 or so, the Himalayan rivers will be without water because all the ice would have melted. But that postulation has gone wrong. Still we have got what is called ice available in the Himalayan rivers. Sometimes flooding comes. But nowadays we talk of what is called the cloud bursting. That is because of what is called the global warming. There is another concept called global cooling also, because the suspended particulate matter which is found in a large number, the sun ray is not penetrating the ground, and because of it, the globe is likely to go for what is called a global cooling also. So we are talk about global warming. There is another called global cooling also. Increase of global average temperature the irreversible effect of ice melting, great damage to life of human and animals. So these are some of the issues which have been contemplated. Because when you talk of this globe doesn't belong to us, because we inherit the property from our ancestors. If not a property, by genetic transfer, we inherit all their shortcomings. For example, suppose we become a diabetic, my grandfather would have been a diabetic. If you have inherited high blood pressure, hypertension, all these things we inherit, whether we inherit a property or not, but we inherit all sort of the shortcomings from our ancestors. But when it comes to a question of a globe, we have not inherited the globe from the ancestors. We have inherited the globe from the youngsters or our own grandchildren rather. So when they wanted to live peacefully, it is our primary duty to see that we are handing over the globe in as is varies condition, not in a deteriorated way, and we have to hand it over in a very pleasant manner. That's a thing what we have to take. So damage to life and human animals it should never happen because of fossil fuel is being used. So optimizing the existing device systems and platform, utilizing green energy. Of course, we talk of uh, non-conventional energy resources, non-renewable energy, like because world fossil fuel is getting depleted. One point of time we left out with nothing. So multidisciplinary tech systems and required for improving energy system and progressing towards sustainable development. What is sustainable development? Development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. So, as I said, all these various conditions not deteriorate anything, hand over the globe to our grandchildren in a better way than what we have inherited from our ancestors. So this should be the spirit of handing over. So that is what is that being contemplated. This is what is my interpretation. I may be wrong, but you have to correct me rather. So technique for smart energy management, intelligent home energy management, okay, and ambient assisted living. Gives out the total energy profile is equipment level, current, voltage, power, energy, power factor, harmonic. Because this part of it I don't have any say because I'm not well versed in that. But anyhow, you have to bear with me. But how that the system can be improved upon, there is a model which has been proposed actually. So it can be applied to existing appliance load with a minimum invasion of privacy. So you cannot interfere with the living level. So non-intrusive load monitoring. So you have whatever is the when you have a township, how that the smaller level, how that township the living condition can be um, made better by collecting information about their energy system. So data collection, event deduction, system extraction, load identification. Data collection, electrical data including current, voltage and power data obtained from a smart meter. Nowadays we say that anything but what we supply, we should have a measurement. How much of power has gone and how much of collection is being made, how much have gone. So always when you say that it is not an audit for finance alone, it is an energy audit, it is a material audit, it is a water audit, everything you should have, it's a system based. So how much of electrical data, how much of current is being used by a system, even deduction and event is any change in the state of appliance over a time. An event implies variation in power and current which can be deducted in the electrical data previously collected by means of threshold. So what is the improvement? What is it? Almost nowadays what happened? Owning a refrigerator and owning a air conditioner is is an essential need or a domestic need. It is not a question of luxury, rather. So 40 years back, what was taken as a luxury has become a yeah, essential need rather. But what is that is being left out, and the impact of the environment is a different story by itself. But this is so feature extraction appliances provide load signature information or features that can be used to distinguish one from the other. Load identification, of course, the electrical engineer has more say in that, but based on the data only. But what is that is essential. Collecting a data, we need not be a technologically oriented, but you have to use a proper tool, take a data, and then use the data, process the data, and see that how better that your energy efficiency can be made, at least from electrical part of it. How come the living standard can be improved upon? Data acquisition with the different approaches to measure, determine the parameters such as voltage, current, real power, apparent power, power factor, IV trajectory, etc. These parameters and their variation over time can help us in further energy disaggregation and appliance identification. So this is uh, we go by our own judgment. All of a sudden, some rise in the power, some rippling factor which occur in the our electrical network, and the drawal of current. Current is more easily can be detected rather than the voltage. That's what I heard. They utilize a different communication protocols such as Ethernet, Wi-Fi link, RS485 to report the data to other end. So collection, primarily the data need to be collected. So measuring module, current, clamp, voltage, sensor, commercial smart meter, acquisition board. How that this is the flow chart. It takes about the different data collection from a network for which we are contemplating a higher level comfort of living within the our level. So we are using different tools like this. Holds good not only for electrical, it holds good for transportation also. So some part of it, when you want to go to Tirupati, sometimes I want to go to Kalarasti, Google Maps show a route. It's end up in a forest actually. How to come out of a forest? Fortunately, that our network was there, we are able to come out actually. So sometimes it happens. So your smart city should have a well planned or high bandwidth Wi-Fi network or connectivity communication network that will make the more comfortable living rather. But too much of dependence we have made that way. So available commercial plug-in devices can be used for data collection, but the major drawback are sampling rates and flexibility. How we, what frequency you are making out a sample, how many samples we make it out, commercial solution, low sampling rate. So design of data collection is an art by itself. Something had to be done. A wrong data will go for a interpretation of a wrong decision on our part. Higher sampling frequencies provide deeper analysis of measured data in order to achieve better energy disaggregation. So this is frequency of data also play a role actually. Increasing the sampling frequency increases the software and hardware complexity and also require larger communication bandwidth to transmit data to monitoring stations. So these are cost effectiveness. This is a part and parcel of large amount of hardware, software, what we are engaging, thereby uh, more is the data and more is the sophistication, a higher price you have to pay for that. A possible solution is to achieve a trade-off between the sampling frequency. So it is a judgment what we have to make it out, and a degree and accuracy in the disaggregation. So this is the various data collection system for NILM application for different frequencies rather. Okay. Event deduction, any change in a signal from a certain steady state to a new one is considered as an event. So all of a sudden there is a rise in the level, distortion. Events are more clearly identified in current signal compared to voltage. It's an electrical engineer, because what I know as a civil engineer is when you have a resistor circuit, current and voltage are in same phase. Induction circuit and capacitor circuit, current leads the voltage and voltage leads the current on the basic only we know. But the current signals are very easily can be identified. That's what the data says. Mostly event detector use three different approaches: a probabilistic model and a matched filter. The heuristic approach is very good. Like sometimes we go for what is called wolf optimization. How that gray wolf optimization, because you have got a global solution, and how wolf uh, hunt and find a prey, and there is a solution for other problem. Rather, it's a probabilistic model. Such models are available. Rather, it's a block diagram for an event-based NILM algorithm to obtain event times and types of load involved in each. So it is voltage, current, how it we get it, external sample, and how that we collect the data. Like set of features are mandatory for both the data collection and appliance identification. So we just go by what is called what are the new appliances to active appliances and achieve okay, all these things is being done to see that the energy efficiency and the end user are not put into trouble by uh, the distortion in the network. Rather, load identification on off devices, most appliances, bulbs and toasters, finite state machines. So all these things, how to, we have to schedule it, how effectively power can be used in that, and something can be circulated to the end user, how that they can manage it. Some of the things which cannot be done. Rather, for example, the washing cycle can be, because most of the smart cities people are working 5 days in a week, and the sixth day, seventh day will be a washing week. Actually, they clean their houses. All these things and how it works, the smart city has to find out. So, finite state machine, the appliances in the category present typically in a period. Examples are washer, dryer, refrigerator, and so on. Continuously varying device. The power of these appliances varies over time, but not a periodic function. Dimmers and tools. Permanent consumer, these are devices with constant power that operated 24 hours. We can include the refrigerators also in this. So although LIM has been there for many years, it was put in public domain in recent time only due to high equipment cost. Higher cost hinders the scalability and lack of disaggregation accuracy. There should be more research. So this is a research avenue where people can put your mind into it and solve a solution for a better living standards in a smart cities. So home energy management system increasingly important to invert the continuously increasing trend. Electrical energy consumption, we have to bring it down. So advantages to both energy consumer and supplier. For consumer, it is only perform real-time monitoring and scheduling of various form of, but also for the management of domestic renewable energy system and energy storage system. Of course, the energy storage is a big topic by itself. We tried with what you call the molten salt technology, but the problem with the molten salt technology is that the salt are more a nitrate salt. They got a lower this thing. Energy can be stored by recycling, but unfortunate thing is that the nitrate salts are explosives. Non-schedulable lighting, cooking, or refrigerator whose operation cannot be delayed. Schedulable washer, dryer, water pumps whose period of operation can be changed. Thermostatically cooled loads, HVAC system, electrical water heaters, space heating and cooling system. Higher scheduling priority should be given to the appliances requiring high energy consumption. So after all, the energy consuming of more energy, lesser is the energy usage of renewable energy, we put it in a different form. So we have got appliances turn off or turn on during time impulse. And now that we have got sensors are available in air conditioner, when the room get cooled, automatically the rheostat controls the temperature. Okay. Increase of life expectancy has become a public health priority mainly in development. So smart environment to assist the elderly people. Of course, senior citizens are facing the problem. Using specific sensor, wearable ambient sensor, monitoring of a particular parameter, physiological signal, movement and activity, daily living, appropriate decisions and recommendations, monitoring health deterioration in long term, produce alert for short term intervention. So these are some um, general overview of current nomenclature monitoring system for AAL depending upon accuracy and scalability. So personal disorder like sleeping disorders can also be inbuilt into this, making it more life comfortable living for the people or the citizens of the smart cities. General diagram of system that use NIM in the AAL. So this is a general architecture for electricity suppliers, how that we monitor it and bring down the uh, energy consumption and more comfort. Standardization of smart energy data set, operability of energy smart grid, integration of smart grid, large scale experimentation with millions of electrical devices for pattern analysis, optimization of electricity consumption on real time basis based on smart energy data. With us, we complete. Um, Thank you very much for sparing your valuable time. I just it's open for people to post questions. Like, thank you very much.
Dear participants, you can unmute your mic and you can ask your doubts, or otherwise you can type in the chat box. Participants, dear participants, you can unmute your mic and you can ask your doubts. Sir, you just highlighted the importance of 3 Rs, that is reduce, reuse, recycle. In your opinion, which of the three is most underutilized in Indian cities and how it can be improved, sir?
So recycling is what is that we do, but reuse part of it, our mindset is not uh, reduce part of it. Of course, we try to reduce it rather, but reuse the same thing. To some extent, I feel that still our mind is not prepared to accept it. Especially in an industrial product, when you go for some of the coloring agent, the dyes are being used for making a clothes. They have been made, and they use the dye but never reuse it.
Yes,
That is
yes.
this thing. Once you start processing the technological tool, is that we are convinced. For example, are we in a position to consume 2.5% of the sewage water? We never accept it. But the technology will come that
Hmm.
reuse of the same water rather. because the smart city they are doing it. That the technology enable and our mind continues, then reduce it. Of course, that's more important. Reduce it. The lifestyle has made a difference to us because the use and throw concept has given rise to more of the generation of the solid waste. I think reuse is, in my opinion, reuse our mindset should change. But it's not true for all cases. For
Okay.
example, if I got a car, I used my car for 20 years. But in advanced country, another model comes, they go and dump the car, and then they will smash it and then recover some part of it. It varies from country to country and technologically how developed we are.
You have very well explained the NILM
Uh,
techniques.
Good evening.
NILM technique with is someone is asking the question?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Uh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, sir. You
Uh,
can proceed.
yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
So first, I would like to thank for your wonderful presentation about the smart city and waste management and all. So the team of as a participant, I feel very thankful for you. And actually, I don't have any queries, but I just have some clarifications. And you explain about smart cities. Actually, you sort out some 15 cities all over the world. And you explain some, for example, you explain about Singapore and Australia, something and also. Actually, uh, in Singapore and Australia, what I'm saying is the peoples of that particular country strictly obeying the rules and regulations of that country. So, is it easily implemented smart cities in their country? But in India, the thick populated, whether it is very easy to implement the smart cities because it comes under waste management and all. Uh, this is the first question. First query, first clarification I just need out. And one more thing, if the thing becomes smart city in India, the cities or become smart cities, whether it leads any unemployments because still we are facing a lot of employment issues in India because of that population. If the things become automated, whether the human resources gets affected. So this is my it just needs some queries in my mindset. And sorry if I'm wrong.
Yeah, thank you. But what I find is it's the enforcement that makes that uh, what is that the laws are very strict actually. See, there is a rule, and you say that it is a rule. It is not your rule or their rule. It is my rule. But we should understand that the rule is for me, right? So here, even I can say that Australia, what they do is the center part of the road is made up of asphaltic. They never touch it. Only on the side roads that is made up of bitumen. The bitumen road is made from the material which have been recovered in the solid waste. So here in Singapore, when you litter it down, every part of it will monitor. They observe in a this camera, and then the hefty fine will be there. And here the safety precautions are necessarily to be followed. For example, when you get into an automobile, it is mandatory that everybody should wear a seat belt, right? But in India, we don't. Right? Whereas in Australia, first instruction what is being given is wear the seat belt. Not only the driver and the adjacent to the driver, people sitting at the back also should wear a seat belt. And it is being monitored in a camera. And if you are not wearing a seat belt, driver will lose the license actually. To license to drive, he will lose it. So enforcement in a way help that way. Second thing is, it is not a question of unemployment, it is a question of employability rather. So people, when a small country like Singapore, where no water resources, they are managing the resources. We have got a perennial rivers like Ganga, Kaveri, Brahmaputra, everything. It is only how that we manage it. So first thing is the mindset should change rather. What is the mindset? It's our country. We should not litter down, and we are to. When you obey traffic rule, we can see highways. They are allowing 120 kilometers per hour. See, my son is working in Australia. His work spot, sometimes he go to the work spot about 150 kilometers away. He start by 8 o'clock, he go to the place, he work over there for 1 hour, then he come for a lunch. That, see, I traveled about 9,000 kilometers from Sydney to Bangalore by Qantas flight. It took about 12 hours. Okay, we started by 9:35 in the morning and we reached by 4:35 in the evening. But at time when I came out of the airport, it was 5:35. But at time when I came out of Bangalore, it was 10 o'clock in the night. 4 hours it took to travel about 12 to 13 kilometers. What is the traffic network and what is the traffic rule what we obey? Can we not? It is only the mindset. Everybody wanted to go very fast. The fellow who wanted to take a left turn, he start in the right. So enforcement, in a way, it makes you the life of it make better. All of us should feel that it is our rule, but it's been enforced by the government. Nothing to blame over the government. That's one part what I feel that. Okay, we should lot of mind change should be there. Unemployment, I don't have a direct answer, but it's a question of employability. Because now that the skill set is coming down, people should acquire some sort of a skill rather. Nowadays, mason is not available, carpenter is not available, right? Some part of that, yeah, well-trained artisans are not there. This trade, we are paying a hefty price for that. So this is why everybody should develop their skill. For that, will be paid rather. Everything we cannot depend on the government also. I don't know whether I have answered your question properly or not.
One question in the chat box, sir. Dr. Vidyasagar asked, I would like to ask a question related to India becoming a large contributor of e-waste in nearing future. Now, country turning towards renewable energy, recommending more of solar. Will solar panels will lead as a major e-waste? Will the e-waste management rules should strengthen more?
Something a distortion is there. Yeah, e-waste is now government of India is taking initiative rather. So that only thing is how that technology enabled rather, how that we are going to reuse the technology rather, how to recover something from this thing, and then uh, I think the next part, next lecture is ready. Am I overstepping? Like, so large scale, because India is blessed with plenty of sunshine. Harnessing solar energy is a need of the hour, which we are going to do it. In this part of the country is better equipped, and we can do that. By that, we can provide more comfort. I don't know. For want of time, can we skip this, brother? Because another lecture is ready here. Somebody is on screen.
Sir, one more question, sir.
Okay, please.
Looking ahead, what do you envision as the next step beyond smart cities? Do you see the evolution moving more towards sustainable cities or resilient cities, or perhaps sometime something even more advanced in integrates both technology and human well-being, sir?
Yeah, definitely, because we will go for more like what do you call the sustainable city, and then we largely will plan because India is a growing economy rather. We will go for more of mining activity and more of infrastructure. When infrastructure development take place phase by phase, I think we'll end up with what is called a more of a sustainable cities. Like more of a sustainable, and later on we also will move towards what is called a smart city rather. So it's only a technology enablement. It is only the technocrat who are responsible for this, either for a destruction or for the construction.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Any other questions from participants? If there is no question, then we will move on to next. On behalf of Sri Chandrasekharendra Saraswati Vishmahavidyalaya and the FDP organizing committee, I take this opportunity to extend our heartfelt thanks to Dr. G. Swaminathan, Professor, Department of Civil Engineering, NIT Tiruchirappalli, for his enlightening session on sustainable urban energy planning and smart cities. Sir, your lecture gave us a comprehensive understanding of what truly makes a city smart, from reliable water supply, power, and efficient waste management to advanced communication, better mobility, and improved quality of life. The way you explained the role of energy, renewable energy, solid waste management, urban transportation, and sustainable governance models has helped us see how technology, when combined with thoughtful planning, can transform urban living. Your insights on India's smart cities mission, the challenges of energy efficiency, and the importance of adapting the 3 Rs: reduce, reuse, and recycle, were particularly thought provoking. We also appreciate the real world examples of global smart cities you shared, which gave us a broader perspective on how these concepts are being successfully implemented worldwide. Most importantly, your emphasis on balancing technological progress with the environmental responsibility was inspiring and perfectly aligned with the goals of this FDP. Thank you once again, sir, for your valuable time and for sharing your deep knowledge with us. We are certain that your words will continue to inspire participants to explore sustainable solutions in their own domains. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, madam, for the opportunity given to me. Thank you very much. Thank you. Close down.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, please.
Participant, can you please come on video?
Sir, sir,
Yeah.
It joined, ma'am.
sir, will you please switch on your video, sir? Swaminathan, sir?
Okay, one minute. Is it okay? It's okay now? You're able to see?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.